Hello, hello, hello. YouTube is Fear. Glad to be here. Let me go ahead and start my other ones. Happy Real Estate Tuesday. You know, I had to start off with a smile every single time. Did you miss me? It's been a minute since I've been here on a Tuesday doing a live. I just really thought it didn't make a difference, but I got to keep on doing what I do, right? I usually go at 7, but we are here at the 5:30 because I have something to do at 7 plus some games coming on. If you don't know, I'm a basketball fan. Um, Heartbroken the Pistons lost yesterday. But here we are today, Real Estate Tuesday. Glad to be with you all. And the market is heating up. Are you ready? Are you in it to win it? So that's what we're here to talk about today. So if you are watching the replay, I appreciate it. Go back and take notes because I am Toria Howard, the real estate educator, and I'm here to educate you, as I always say on my videos. So I am so grateful to be able to do something that I love. I love to educate. I love to educate people. And this is something that is near and dear to my heart because I know people need this information. So a lot of people are, scared of buying a home, getting talked out of buying a home. And it's unfortunate that people are listening. But that's what's happening. So I'm here to squash the fear because fear is what they say is something that is made up out of a present danger, right? Something that's right in front of you that I'm afraid of because it's right here. Like if you're afraid of dogs, that's fear. And it's a dog right up on you. If it's a bear or alligator or something, you know what I mean? Or a strange person walking towards you, that's fear. That's something of clear and present danger that's right in front of you, right? But a lot of people have anxiety and they create these things and these scenarios in their mind because of the fact that people they have hearing all this noise from the internet, from their peers, from their family members. Don't buy a home, don't buy a home, don't buy a home. It's a waste of money, this and that and the third. But you still need somewhere to live. So, hi, Kathy. So, thank you for joining me. So, you still need a place to live, regardless of the fact if you buy a home, you're going to be paying rent. I mean, if you buy a home, you're going to be paying a mortgage and, keeping up with the maintenance. If you rent, you're going to be still doing the same thing. You're paying money, but you do have, with renting, if renting works for you, like if you are a serial traveler or somebody that moves from place to place all the time, that's something different. But if you know that you're going to stay at a place and you have good deals going on, especially here in the Detroit and the surrounding areas and anywhere in the Midwest is going on, and in like some southern states like Birmingham, Alabama, and North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, real estate is going crazy right now. And the summertime, it heats up. Ooh, summertime, it heats up because more and more homes come on the market and it's a lot of buyers. So I'm here to tell people about how to go about it and how to get prepared to get your keys by summer, because you want your keys by summer. You want to be in your home, celebrating Thanksgiving with your family, celebrating Christmas and all of the things. So make sure that you're taking notes. I'm going to go through this. I did do a short reel about this yesterday, but I wanted to come on and do something longer. So, hey, Nisa. So I wanted for people to understand, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the beautiful city of Detroit and the surrounding areas in Michigan. So I know the programs here, but there are still programs wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Michigan, if you are in Indiana, if you're in Georgia, if you're in New York, there are home buying programs. And if you are someone who is in another state besides Michigan, let me know where you're from. And I know real estate agents all across this country because I always network with real estate agents. I know a slew of them. So let's get into it. So if you want keys by summer, you're already on the clock. It's the end of April. Isn't it crazy? Like 2026, we are almost in the middle of the year. So the housing market usually tends to heat up around May till September, right? Between those time frames, a lot more homes come on the market. And a lot more people are willing to buy and move because a lot of people, especially if you're in the northern states, Midwest, you don't like to move in the wintertime. So it's heating up. So the Detroit market especially is heating up. Homes are selling over asking. There are multiple offers. I was just talking to one of my brokers at an open house that I did. They have 15. She also renovates and flip houses. A house that she's flipping right now has 15 offers for one house. And we're just getting started. It was a house that I had posted on my page, and this was in the wintertime. And it was in an up and coming area, beautiful home in my old neighborhood of the Dexter Linwood area. If you're familiar, people, it's Russell Woods. People, want to talk about how bad it is, but that's how it used to be. That house sold over asking. They put it on the market for 229. It sold for 236. So what I'm telling you is the market is heating up and more buyers are coming into the game, and you should be too. So it's not time to figure it out later. It's time for you to know what you need to do. So who you are plus what to do. Real estate, you need to get your professional real estate you know, personnel of some sort. Have you a financial literacy educator like me? I always teach my clients financial literacy. Like I want them to have the financial literacy in order for them to obtain the keys and keep the keys. Because that's what happened to me when I bought my first home. I didn't have financial literacy. I knew that I had a good enough credit score, I had income, my tax returns were up to par, and that was it. I knew how to get the keys. I ended up using, because I'm an educator in real life, but I ended up using a a teacher grant program to help me buy home. So it's been home buying programs, and I bought my home back in 2010. So it's been grant programs for years upon years. I used two teacher grants. One was a loan, one was a grant, and a smaller grant for my closing costs. I didn't come with nothing to the closing table. So this was back in 2010. And right now, there is so much money out here. So we'll talk about that, but I'm going to show you exactly what you need to get started today. So, like I said, homes are moving fast. So that means that days on market are dropping. Now, days on market was up. Like usually when a home is on the market for over 30 days, you got some negotiation power. And a lot of people are renovating these homes so beautifully, people are jumping on it. So you need to make sure that you are understanding the market in which you're in and where you want to buy. And if you're not ready, you're just not ready, but it's time to get ready, right? So buyers are, buyers are competing, which means highest and best offer. Which highest and best offer means is you have to come with something basically over asking or a little bit over what you think somebody else is going to, put in an offer. So you need to make sure that you are, with a real estate professional that understands the market, understand that, not to put too much, because sometimes you can structure a deal and it's not going to pan out in the end for your client. Like you have to know how much the home is worth, all of those type of things. So, and interest rates are fluctuating daily. So the urgency is now. And, we're coming upon the 1st of May, which is the second month of the second quarter. And things are, you know, moving, it's charging. So you need to make sure that you're getting everything in alignment, having all of your paperwork, all of the things that you need. If you, tax returns, they're looking for the 2025 tax returns. You need 2024, 2025. Your pay stubs, they typically ask for a month of pay stubs. They usually ask for, a lot of them don't ask for your bank statements anymore. They have access to your bank account now through their different links and things of that nature. So they do have access to your bank account. So not doing crazy large deposits, but you just have to make sure that you are putting notes on them like gift, you send it here and there. So then they can, you can work with the lender to know exactly, where that money is going. So they don't want to see large deposits going here, there, everywhere with with no documentation, no notation. So you need to make sure that when you're sending Zelles, you sending Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals, you always have notation on there. And majority of the time, if you just put gift on there, they're going to leave it at that. So you just have to learn how to document things properly for them to just kind of, go away from it. And, you have to at least have at least 2-year job history. And a lot of people think like, because I switched jobs, I can't, buy a home. If you're in the same industry, you go and you get more money, that's something that can be explained. Or maybe you graduated and you ended up finding a job that's a higher pay in your field, that can be explained as well. But like if you're job hopping, restaurant to restaurant, or something, you seem unstable, so that doesn't look good on paper. So prepared buyers are winning, unprepared buyers are watching. So you don't want to continue to watch. And because of the fact that, especially in Detroit, where we have a lot of redevelopment going on, especially the Joe Louis Greenway. So the Joe Louis Greenway is going to be completed by 2030. So no, I'm sorry, 2027. I misspoke because I did a video on that. It's going to be completed by 2027. It was supposed to be completed in 2030, but now it's going to be completed in 2027. So those 28 zip codes are the property values are going to rise in 28 zip codes from east side of Detroit, Hamtramck, Highland Park, all the way from downtown, of course, downtown, especially because we get in the Cosmodome. And the sports teams are doing well, and it's downtown. Oh, and I can't forget about the JW that's about to be completed as well. So you're going to having a lot of redevelopment that's going on within the same areas of the Joe Louis Greenway, all the way through. They redid Dexter. It looks like it's all clean. It's got structural bike lanes there. They want it to look like the Fashion District. If you are familiar with the Fashion District in Detroit, off of Livernois between 6 and McNichols and 8 Mile. And so all of that, all the way to Dearborn. So it's going all the way northwest. So you're going to be able to have a trail from Dearborn all the way downtown, all the way through to the east side. So that's what it is. And even in Highland Park, if you've been to HP off of Woodward, you can see like the old train tracks that used to hover over Woodward up over there by the shopping plaza. It says Joe Louis Greenway, big, bold. So there's a lot of deals out here to get. And a lot of people are scared to tap in because those areas have been sketchy, people, but listen, you don't go where the puck is already. You go where the puck is going, right? So you got to think like an investor. So some of the things some of the mistakes buyers make is waiting until they find a house. So I get people that come to me and send me houses and they do all these things. And I'm like, did you get your pre-approval? And they be like, no. Well, we got to back up a step. And then when you got to back up a step and they find out, this and what they got to do, sometimes they fall off, sometimes they don't. So do the steps properly, right? That's the thing. So people don't check their credit early. They don't understand their budget. Their PITI is not just what you're supposed to be budgeting for. PITI is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And that's your whole mortgage payment. But you have to factor in utilities, your 1% maintenance rule, your home warranty. Those extra 3 things have to be factored in to that budget. So typically, you can range your utilities between $300 to $500. Your 1% rule is all depending on, excuse me, how, what your home is worth, how much you buy it for if you're first time home buyer. So if you buy a house of $200,000, then you had to have $2,000 saved, every year for your maintenance fund. And then, you just do it by monthly. Or you can put it in there once you get your tax return, if you get tax returns or, whatever, depending on your income. And a lot of people just don't know about the DPA programs, the down payment assistance programs. We have so many right now that are open. And a lot of times they open more in the summertime then in the winter. So this is the perfect time to tap into this. So you don't start with the home, you start with the plan. You start with the knowing your credit, what's on your credit report. Talk, and once you do that, you see your credit, go to the lender because they score it differently. So we have so many different ways of scoring credit scores these days. It's like they continuously move the finish line. And it's like every time you think you at the checker flag, you be like, what? Because like I had my credit score, I had a 740 on Equifax, and I was in the like 560s, 590 Experian, 560 TransUnion. It it's that, but that's my mortgage score. But that's not what it says when I check my credit score, my FICO credit scores. So you have to make sure that you're understanding that part because the mortgage score is going to be different. So there's a lot of money available to purchase a home. You got the Detroit down payment assistance program. Now they give it up to 2,500. I mean 25,000, and it's based on income. So the more people you have in your home, the more money you can make. The less people you have in your home, the less money you can make, and it helps reduce the upfront costs. Now, it's a little chink in the system, with the monies being. It's not like it's not readily available, but it's a little catch in using it that lenders are finding that makes it harder sometimes, but it's still money out there and it's still a chance. So Detroit launches this usually, like I said, around this time of year. It's limited. It's limited. So you get up to 25,000 depending on your income, and it helps reduce upfront costs. Now you get another 25,000 from the first generations grant that the state of Michigan has. So that means that nobody in your home, nobody, in your family owned a home. That's up to 25,000 as well. So you can get Detroit DPA plus the first generation. Listen, and put them together, you get it to a lender to know how to stack them. You got 50K to buy a home. Then you have the launch program, right? The launch program is specific to a certain lender. So you get up to 20K or 20% down. And that can be layered with other programs. So for instance, if you get the launch program, you can use that plus, if you are a teacher, firefighter, nurse, a doctor, or whatever, because our FHA limit is 544,000, I think that's what it is, somewhere in there. So you can buy up to a house in FHA, which is a federal loan, up to like 500,000, and still use down payment assistance. So it doesn't matter where your income lies as far as that is concerned, because you can still use this program if you're your first time home buyer. The launch program, like I said, it gives you up to 20K or 20%, and it can be layered with other programs, like MSHDA, like other programs there's a lot of grant programs out there for purchasing a home. Then you have MSHDA, which is a statewide assistance option, right? So it helps with down payment and closing costs. That's a Michigan program, but you have lenders across this country who are offering down payment assistance programs and having different parameters. I know a Black-owned woman-owned bank in Texas, and she funds in 50, I think she does 48 states. And her program is different because she's her own bank. It's 600 credit score. She's not looking for the tax returns. She's not, you have to have a 56 debt to income ratio and just 2 years on your job. So it's money out here, y'all. Then have you did the Detroit Move program? That could give you up to 15,000 towards a home as well. It's up to 15,000, or they'll give you 1,000. But still, all in all, you can use it to purchase a home or for a business or whatever. But the key point is that there is money out there. So some of you are sitting out because you don't have the money, but in all actuality, you could already be qualified and you just won't take the chance to see. I mean, all they can do is tell you what you need to do in order to get qualified, and just do it. There's nothing wrong with, I don't know what is the anxiety about people knowing what to do. Maybe it seems overwhelming, but at least you have a roadmap and knowing where to start so then you can be prepared. So I had a conversation with somebody else earlier today about that. So what should you be doing right now? So you should be looking at your credit report, seeing if you have any negatives, what your debt to income ratio is, what figuring out what your budget is. So if you know that $2,000 is comfortable for you, and that's including your principal, interest, taxes, insurance, utilities, your maintenance fund, and your home warranty, then that's the number you stick with. Always know your numbers. Even if you're buying a residential home, you got to know your numbers. So once you know your numbers, your budget, you got all your paperwork together, your check stubs, your monthly check stubs, your 2 years of tax returns if you want with a traditional lender. They're gonna have access to your bank account through their system. You have your bank accounts and all of the monies that you have, asset wise, if you have stocks, if you have 401ks, if you have other investments, all of that stuff is counted as income, as collateral. If you get child support, spousal support, if you have somebody in your home that you're taking care of who gets Social Security, all of that is counted. So that's what you need to know: your number, your budget, and your income flows, and all of those things. Then go get a pre-approval. I know plenty of lenders all across this country. It doesn't matter where you are, but I know plenty of them in Michigan and in Detroit and surrounding areas that will assist you to have these programs. Then once you do that, you start building out everything else, because when you get your pre-approval, then you know what you need to do. Or if you don't get pre-approved and they tell you what to do, and they have some programs to help you get into those programs to help you. You also have programs like NACA, take you a little bit longer, but it's still 0%. They got 0% interest. Like you go through a lot, but it is what it is. You want to check for a DPA eligibility, and then you want to connect with a knowledgeable agent like myself. So this is how you go from scrolling on Zillow and Instagram and Redfin and Realtor.com to sitting at the closing table. Being prepared by doing the steps, right? So I created something because I saw too many people confused. So, let me grab it. Should have had it. My book, Keys to Your Castle. Okay. It is a workbook style book that will walk you through the steps from wherever you are. If you're a year out, if you are 6 months out, 3 months out, ready to buy after the keys, I have all of that. And then you can scan a QR code and you can get dispute letters if you need them. Fire dispute letters if you need it. If you need to dispute some things off of your credit, you need to update some things on your credit. I also have all of the spreadsheets I've created to help you with your budget and knowing what exactly is needed, is what you can afford, and also how to calculate the things after you get your keys. I have all of that in here for you. So it's a step-by-step home buying guide and after the keys guide, breaking down everything. And then I have a pathway keys system where I coach you along with my book. I coach you to show you how to strategically execute this plan. Okay. I help with the actual qualify and the win. I'm gonna get you to the closing table. And I have testimonies where I've helped people to the closing table. So this is just not information, people. This is a system that gets you the keys. You want your keys by summer? I have what you need. So if you want your keys by summer, the timeline starts today. So tap in. Hi, Michael. Long time no see. So the market is slowing down for you. The market's not slowing down for you, but you need to get prepared. So DM me keys. Let's have a conversation. It doesn't matter if you're in, Michigan, Indiana, California, wherever you are, I can assist you. And if I can't be your real estate agent because I'm in Michigan, I know plenty of people that I can send you to that you can do all that you need to do in order to get those keys. So comment keys or DM me and I will help you get started. So I bid you adieu. Thank you. That's the end of my TED Talk. Look, have an amazing evening. Y'all watching the games tonight? I'm a sports girl, so I love basketball. The Pistons lost, but I still, I enjoy basketball. So that's my number one. Football, number two, boxing. I love going to the baseball park to watch it. But definitely thank you for tapping in with me and watch the replay. Go back and watch the replay. Tell me what I can do to assist you no matter where you are in the beautiful United States and or if you're in Michigan, I would love to assist you. So have an amazing day, evening, and I'll see you back next week for Real Estate Tuesday. Bye, YouTube. It's Fia.